So why do design systems fail? It's a good question, and there's a lot of different answers. I'm certainly not going to go through all of them because I'm sure there's loads I haven't heard of. But the one common theme goes back to one of my earlier videos where it's fundamentally about the people stuff. What I mean by that is there's lots of different ways a design system can start. It could be top down, it could be bottom up, like it just feels the right thing to do. And maybe there's some challenges that come along the way, like around why aren't people adopting it? Why aren't we getting contribution? Why are we not collaborating better? And all of these things come down to the people bit. So whatever stage you're at, it's the backbone of design systems. And what I mean by that is, even before you started making a design system, putting in the legwork, getting to know people, getting to know the structures around people, thinking about how are you really going to listen. There's lots of feedback you can get, and feedback loops are massively important. But you need to listen. We need to be humble as a design system team. Fundamentally, what we do is to empower others. So this is maybe a situation where there's a number of product teams or feature teams. And our project, the design system, is to empower them to do great work for the end users, whoever they might be. So there's a lot of human things that happen here. Like if we went away and just made a UI kit or component library and said, ta-da, now you've got to use this. How would you expect them to react if they'd not been aware? It might be really natural, like, well, we have a way of working, it works, and we've got a lot of work to do in that backlog. What is this? Just because we get excited about design systems, it doesn't mean that anyone else will be. In fact, we should probably assume that they might not be. Probably they've got really good reason for that as well. So understanding those reasons and trying to build into existing workflows and existing structures is really on us. Whether we come from design or code, it doesn't matter, because fundamentally as design system teams, you park your disciplines at the door sometimes. And as this collective, whether it's a centralized team or whether it's a federated model and you're all responsible for it, it doesn't matter. You are a collective of some form built around a project to empower others. And so a lot of it is, are we solving problems? Are we solving problems that these people are experiencing? How do we know we're doing it well? Are they on the journey with us? How do we listen to their concerns? How do we know how they work? How is this going to fit into their workflows and actually solve their problems? Is it going to make them work faster? Can we really prove that we're doing this well? So all of the people bit is hard, really hard. It gets even harder if you're working across time zones, or the scale of the organization means there's a lack of face-to-face time, or it's just difficult to really reach out to everyone and really understand. So a lot of the time it's maybe surveys or temp checks or Slack channels or something. And all of these things have their place. So it's trying to work out, how can you listen? How can you show value? How can you take people on the journey of why this design system exists, what problems it solves, how you can get involved, set some expectations. This is how we imagine it might happen. Please, if you've got feedback, give us your feedback. We would love to hear it. If you think we could do something better, please bring it. Open those challenges, because from the earliest stages, it has to be for them, not for us. If we spend all our time getting the perfect color palette or obsess over a button, these people are getting no benefit at all. And they might not. They might still have feedback. So you've done what you think is the best piece of work, but used in context, they will have feedback, and it should make it better. So when we talk about this people bit, that often links in with governance. And a lot of that is various ways of describing how you make decisions. How is this going to work? And you can start super simple. It can be a few bullet points or sticky notes or anything. Start with some principles, some ways of how are we going to know what a good addition is. How are we going to have some rough kind of contribution model? And you can start really simple and keep enhancing and keep improving it. So all of these people bits are more of the design system than the components, than the colors, than the tools. And without all of that, it might not work. Most of the times where I've heard people struggle or have challenges, it's because of these things. Not spending enough time with people early enough, and not really listening, and not getting the context of the fact that it's not the design system team telling everyone else what to do. It's almost a servant leadership in a way, where we're responsible, but it only works if we work together. It's a team sport all the way. It has to be collaborative, it has to be receptive to challenge and feedback, and it has to keep evolving all the time. I'd love to know if you've tried a design system yourself and you found it hasn't worked. Tell me why. I love these stories. And if you're doing this stuff for yourself, it's never too late to step in and focus more on the people bit. Whatever scale of your organization, it's always an integral part of what makes a proper design system rather than just a component library or a UI kit. Good luck.